What's going on? Today I wanted to jump on here and talk about something going on in the video game community around Death Stranding, around Debra Wilson. Debra Wilson is a voice actress who you have seen pop up in a lot of stuff. Even if you haven't seen her face, you've definitely heard her voice. I first really saw her in Jedi Fallen Order, in which she's also in the sequel, of course. From there, even if you look at her IMDb, there's a whole lot of stuff that you can just rattle off of this thing. From TV shows to more games, Rick and Morty, Call of Duty, Spider-Man, it's a lot of stuff. And it was announced recently that she will be in the next Death Stranding game, Death Stranding 2. I'm personally am super excited for this game, but we're not talking about that. Today, we're talking about Death Stranding 2. A lot of people on Twitter, X, who are crybabies, let's get that straight, are saying like, oh, dude, I'm tired of seeing this girl pop up. I'm tired of seeing Debra Wilson in everything. What the heck? To which a lot of people were like, you're being sexist. You're being racist. Have you heard of Troy Baker? Have you heard of Nolan North? Two guys in particular who just absolutely dominated the voice acting world. They were absolutely everywhere for like a good stretch of like a decade. Looking at Nolan North, we're talking about frickin' in the Arkham games, he's Penguin. He's obviously Nathan Drake. He's frickin' he's Edward Richtofen in Zombies. He's played so many characters. He's in God of War. He's in everything. Pick any franchise, he's popping up there. Troy Baker. I'm talking about Reese from Tales from Borderlands. I'm talking about Booker from BioShock. Joel, freaking Batman in the Telltale Batman game. The guy is in a ton of stuff. They're saying, oh, you're being sexist, blah, blah, blah. You had no problem with Nolan North, Troy Baker, you know, being in stuff all the time now. Oh, what about Debra Wilson? What about Debra Wilson? That's not fair. You suck. I do think it is a little more complicated than that. I will start off by saying, before people attack me, don't attack me. Before you attack me, I will say I have no problem with Debra Wilson being in all of these games. If anything, I like it. I embrace it because she's a talented actress. If she was really bad, I'd be like, yeah, why is she here? She's not great, but I've always enjoyed her in the games I've seen her in the performances I've seen her give. Yeah, sure, why not? I'd say that about anybody. If they are good and they're putting in good work, 100%, why would we not want them to just be spammed to death? Ultimately, I do think being spammed like that is a bad thing. We have seen Troy Baker, Nolan North take a little bit of a backseat because of, I think they were a little oversaturated for that spam, but they still pop up. I still want to see them give performances because they're phenomenal. But I think Debra Wilson is a product of the times for video games, and I would say that the conversation, I mean, of the product, obviously she's a product of her parents, not whatever's going on there. Because if you look at, like, you know, some of the big performances from a Troy Baker, a Nolan North, I'm taking Booker and Joel and Nathan Drake, all of those are performance capture, are motion capture. They're capturing both things, but the facial models are very different. If you look at Nolan North and Troy Baker, they do not look like a lot of the characters we see them portray. It's the same reason why I think even if you look at Laura Bailey, people don't have a big issue with Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham playing a lot of people, because Laura Bailey, she's playing very different characters. And I don't want to judge Debra Wilson's character on Death Stranding. Maybe she acts really different. Maybe she doesn't. But what makes this different is the fact that we see her face is the same model being used for these characters. So it's different from a Nolan North and a Troy Baker because we're not seeing their face all the time. We're hearing their voice, sure, but also their voice is being changed. It's being altered. Debra Wilson, not so much, at least in the big franchises. You can look at her character in Death Stranding 2. You can look at her character in the Jedi Fallen Order games. That is her. That is the same exact looking figure, and that's an objective truth. And the reason they are doing this is because we are seeing a emphasis put more on the connection between a actor and the face model that is being used. We saw this most evidently in the Yuri Lowenthal, the recasting of his face model between Spider-Man 1 and 2, because that second face model, it fit his face better, whatever that means. I don't really understand that. I guess the points on their face just match the face more accurately. So yeah, it makes sense for Debra Wilson's face to look like her because that is the face that's going to match her performance the best, because it's giving the damn performance. That being said, that's why I think it's a completely different situation from a Nolan North and a Troy Baker. I think if you took a Nolan North and you scanned Nolan North's face 1-to-1, Troy Baker's face 1-to-1, and that's Richtofen, that's frickin' Penguin, and that's Nathan Drake. Yes, people are going to complain about that, but at the end of the day, I don't have a issue with her face being the face used in all of these projects, because if you think about it, it's just like any other actor, right? Like, again, let's take ourselves out of the video game world. Let's put ourselves in the movie world, the TV world. Take Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I made a video about him the other day. You can check that out. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's face, largely the same in all of his movies. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm like, dude, why is his face always looking like that? Why is his face always looking the same? What's up with that? That's why I have a hard time for people being upset about this. Is there underlying reasons for people not liking her face or something like that in these games? I'm not even going to go into that conversation. At the end of the day, I don't think people should care that much. It's not a big deal. As always, we should not be concerned with the person giving the performance. We should be concerned with the performance itself. Is it good? How is the character? How does it lend itself to the overall story in this game? And as far as that goes, she can only control the performance. She can't control the writing. She can't control anything like that. So we should not put focus on her, put blame on her, put focus on her in a negative realm to where we're, making it a conversation at all. That's silly. The Nolan North Troy Baker thing, not a great defense of this to counter the people who are being unjustifiably upset about it. So just thought I'd jump on, give my thoughts on that, why it's silly, and that's my thoughts on that. Thanks so much for watching. Woo, I feel like I spoke just nonstop for like a while, dude. Holy crap. Anyways, watch more videos, hit subscribe. New videos coming out all the time. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.